right. Okay, episode 3, final day. We have to finish this stream. We can't go any longer. Was this the most recent one? 727? Yeah, this is it. Gosh, how is this thing going to turn out? I still have no idea what they're alluding to. There could be so many different ways this thing happens. Courtroom number 4. I haven't been paying enough attention to that. Does it change courtrooms? Do they look any different? I'm not sure. I think it's kind of sad that you don't see drive-ins anymore. I used to love them as a kid. What's neat is it's like a cheap way to get movie tickets. Before, they used to charge per vehicle. So they might charge you like $8 or $10 per car. But if you crammed 5 or 6 people in there, that's like pretty cheap. And also as a kid, we would go in my parents' truck and me and my siblings would fall asleep in the back and we'd be just laying there and all of a sudden the car would start moving. My parents wouldn't bring us up to the front. We would just sleep in the back the whole way home, or we'd wake up and you just get to like look at the stars, and it was just really cool. Super unsafe. Don't do that at home, kids, but we did. Let's see. There are different courtrooms for story reasons later in the series, but they look identical. Okay. I guess a lot of that might come from this being like a 3DS game too. They probably had limited space to work with, so maybe they didn't want to come up with whole new courtroom graphics for every single one, because it's not just that one scene that would have to look different. Every single one of these scenes would have to be a totally different background. Oh, GBA, that's right. Even more limited. All right. So, final day. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. After how many days we haven't been able to do that? Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. He always gets to go first, doesn't he? In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. That's right, we got the whole... That was really cool on the last day. We found out that it couldn't have happened in Studio 1 where the body was found. It actually happened in Studio 2, and there's a whole bunch of suspects. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. I can see why people were excited that we were doing this case, because it's an involved one. Compared to the first two, this one's huge. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Ooh, he's getting scared. Brandon, greetings. I aspire that the specified moment in the fabric of time in which the moon is located at your portion of the hemisphere, in which most Homo sapiens partake in the activity of somnolence, that you shall find delight and also partake in the aforementioned activity. Somnolence. I can't say I've ever heard that word before. I think of solemn, like if you're acting solemn, aka good night. Okay. Have a good night. Hope you're having a good evening too. It's like 7:30 almost here. Relentless. I know some of those words. That was impressive, Brandon. Did you come up with that, or was that a quote from something? That almost seems like an awesome meme. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. D. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. I wonder if she's just, like, not going to answer any questions. That's how she is whenever I try to talk to her. Will the witness state her name and occupation? Crap, what was my voice for her? It's increasingly verbose. Let's see, trying to remember how I made her sound. D. Vasquez, I am the producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. Oh wait, who was talking? That was her. I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. That's right. In the last session that we had just about caught her on some shifty stuff in the past, and then she brought a bunch of goons that were about to like kill us, and then our detective friend, I forget his name, he came in and saved our butts and put her under arrest. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Good old Gumshoe. That's his name, Gumshoe. Yes. I encountered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. Hey, grilled tomato! You barely missed anything. We're just getting started. So, we're on the final day of the trial, and they just put Dee Vasquez on the seat. So, we are questioning her. This is the first round of questioning. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Ooh, those drugged T-bone steaks. We found Hammer's body later, and we all went to Studio One. That's all. That's a weird statement. We found Hammer's body, and then we went to Studio One? So, she's saying they found it in Studio 2, so why was the body in Studio 1? They dragged it there? I have a question about one part of your testimony. See, even the judge is like, bullshit. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? Let's see, are you allowed to smoke in a courtroom? Currently, no. At least not in California. Maybe it depends on the state, to be honest. But yeah, that wouldn't fly here. Maybe in like, I don't know, some southern states where like you can smoke in restaurants. Maybe you could smoke in a courtroom. These characters do whatever they want. Seriously, they even bring knives and cameras into courtrooms. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk, what with the monkey's head toppling over. So if the monkey head had already toppled over, how did you drive the van past it? So her statement, Salmonella used this van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. Let's see, in the Professor Layton Phoenix Wright crossover game, a character brings a butcher's knife to the courtroom, and I don't think that'd be allowed either. No, or that kid's katanas, or whatever kind of swords that he had. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. It sounds like a boss battle. A modern day version of her would probably be vaping right now. Very trendy. Okay, so she says she entered the trailer a little before noon. All right. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. It's going to be hard to catch her on anything if she doesn't extrapolate at least a little bit, you know? Okay, so she says the meeting began at noon, ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Ooh, she paused for a second. Come on, let's talk a little more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. He's on your side, kind of. What are you doing? And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. sides. Whose side is she on? She's on her own side. Okay, so there was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Oh, come on. So we ask her a question that's not yes or no, and she forgets. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. She has a selective memory. She only remembers the things when it's convenient, and when it works in her favor. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Yeah, that doesn't sound right, does it? Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? We actually already heard that when the judge asked? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh right. Still, that could also have some double entendre. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Wham! Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. Maybe Sal ate 2 steaks. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. Okay, so we've actually heard everything that she said. And we pressed all of it. Okay, so let's look at what we have. Quite a few items. So there's the van. Manila used the van to drive her to Studio One after the meeting. Steak plate found in the employee area. On it are traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. But this is in the employee area. This is not Studio 2. Honestly, if I was ever a suspect for a crime, I'd be screwed because I spend most of my time... you spend most of my time home, alone. I'd be like, well, I was playing video games, offline, home alone. I swear I'm telling the truth. I can't prove it, but I swear. That would be tricky. Although, oh, if you're offline, that makes it trickier. Yeah. What could you even look at? Your electricity bill, maybe? Okay, sleeping pills. I don't think that's going to help us. And then we have this picture that shows her, and that's Jack Hammer, and they accidentally killed somebody in an accident. But that has nothing to do with what happened the day of the crime. Cody's camera. I don't think you got a picture of him there. Okay, that's his book with every single victory photo of the Steel Samurai. The monkey's head was blocking the path between 2:15 and 4. Spear, map of the studio. This is him. I think we're pretty much done with a lot of this evidence. And the time of death. Okay. So this van is probably going to be what we need. But let's look at some of this. Okay, so she says she entered the trailer before noon. The meeting began at 12, ended at 4. Unfortunately, it doesn't say what time this happened. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Okay. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. Wait, what time is this happening? She says that there was rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Are they talking about 4 o'clock? After the monkey head was cleaned up? She was fatigued, so Sal took her. And then at 2:30 they took a 15-minute break in the meeting. And then they ate T-bone steaks in front of the trailer. One of these things, it sounded like when I pressed, he had a problem with. So no one left during the meeting. Aha. So it goes bling. I think that means that there's something about this that we need to press. And he tells her to stop banging. Which one did we just press? I think it was this one. Okay, there was supposed to be rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. In the van. I think there's a problem in the time. It should have been blocked at that time. But I have to be sure which one I actually questioned with that. So, I said there was supposed to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. She was fatigued, so I had Sal take her. It's gonna be one of these two. What do you guys think? Should we press on, there was supposed to be a rehearsal, so we went to Studio One? Or she was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. I think probably the first one. Just her saying that we went to Studio One. They shouldn't have been able to if that monkey was down. So I'm thinking it's probably this one. I don't know, we might take some damage. Alright, let's try it. Although, at the same time, he also said that he needs to prove that she wasn't eating. We know there was drugs on the T-bone steak, so maybe the fact that she didn't fall asleep? I don't know. Let's try this one. Well, the music did not stop. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. The steak was the one that Maya or Phoenix was... Yeah, I remember that. Really? Objection overruled. Oh no! We took damage. Try to think before you make accusations. Okay, so... Here she talks about eating the T-bone steaks. So this is probably where we need to push that. Maybe it's just the fact that the T-bone steaks were drugged. Ooh, did she drug everybody? Did everybody fall asleep during that time? Or was just, what's his name? Will Powers, isn't that his name? Was just his steak drugged. Let's try presenting this. This is a tricky one. There we go. Ha! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate? This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Ah, there were no bones on the other plates. Mr. Wright, need I remind you that it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Oh, that face. It's good to get a reaction. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too! You ate a boneless steak. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. Ooh. I see. Maybe she's a snake and swallowed the steak whole. We can't know that. I know, that was one of the options. I like that they give you that option. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during the break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Picking on Salmonella. Meeting the Steel Samurai. To commit murder. Bam! She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Order. Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. Like this artwork. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. I'm actually surprised if she's the real murderer. She seems like the kind of person that would hire somebody to do it. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Ah, crap. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Ooh, see, this is where I think my idea of... They might be trying to play it off that the samurai spear was too heavy, but it was snapped in half during rehearsal, so you only have to carry half of it. That makes it easier to hold. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could. I think you could. See, it's incredible how we went from a seemingly open and shut case of Will Powerins doing it, to the murder scene being different than I thought, food being drugged, and all that kind of crazy stuff. Seriously, Blaze, this whole chapter has just been like a roller coaster. This is, I want to say we've had to like save the game 5 or 6 times during just this one chapter, and before each save there was like a big cliffhanger, like some twist. How could I, a mere woman? I'm gonna say I think you could. Bam. It's not impossible. Oh, I banged on the desk. Georgie did not like that. Well, maybe it's not impossible, but... Silence. I'm speaking. Wow. The victim was stabbed through the chest from the front, yes? I awoken the gremlin. Just don't feed him after midnight. I believe this would indicate that the victim was aware of the killer's presence. Now, the Steel Samurai costume is quite light and mobile. Compared to the victim, I am weaker and slower. I couldn't possibly win such a fight. Not to mention, there is proof I did not have the spear. The photograph of the Steel Samurai shows that the victim himself was holding it at that time. Or do you mean to suggest that I could have wrested it away from him? Yeah, take that, Mr. Wright. If you still think she did it, show us proof. Hey Nick, look at the data we have on the samurai spear in the court record. It got snapped in half. Isn't there something in there that gets to you? Something odd about the samurai spear? Wait. Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Sorry, Your Honor. I'd like to take back my previous claim. Very well. I won't hold it. I won't hold you to your claim. But I'm afraid I will have to penalize you. No, that's too. Ugh. What's this? You're taking back your claim? Let's backtrack for a moment. I want to consider whether the witness could have used the samurai spear or not. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. You guys get it? That picture with the person that fell off the stairs and had that accident and landed on that fence because the fence is dangerous. If somebody had pierced themselves that way, you could pull the body off and then put the spear in the hole, make it look like he was murdered with the spear. And the revelation that the victim was the one in the costume. That was a huge surprise, Blaze. That was pretty cool. What? I love it when you get that reaction. What's the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. So in this case, it'd probably be this picture. This shows somebody getting speared in that same area, and it's not with the spear. The only other thing would be the murder weapon, and it says it's been mended with duct tape. But that would still mean it's the murder weapon. So this has got to be it.
Take that!
Wrong, Mr. Wright. What? But I haven't said anything yet. I know you well enough by now to know what you're going to present, that you're going to present the wrong evidence. I can sense it too, with my fey blood. What? Okay, so I picked the wrong evidence. Dang it! Enough with all the sensing. Right, okay, here's the real evidence, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. Dang it. The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. I mean, even if you drugged him to knock him out and then murder him, it's still that. Let's see. If the spear was duct tape, I doubt it would be very useful as a weapon. Oh, that's true, Relentless. But I guess you could say that. Does that make sense? I mean, you could still murder someone with half a spear, but nothing else makes sense to present at this point. Maybe the sleeping pills? But it has Jack Hammer's fingerprints on it, so that doesn't help us. So you could say it was a drugged stake, but that isn't what killed him. That just knocked him out so they could stab him. So I think that's the only thing we can try. I guess he's probably going to try to say that because it was broken, that wasn't what was actually used. More often than not, you have to go down the nothing else makes sense here route. At least I did. Okay, good. I'm not alone. Yeah, the photo I think should have worked, Blaze. I liked my logic, but let's hear the game's logic. Let's see if this is it.
Take that!
Okay, I think this is right. Good. The judge didn't just be like, hold it, you're stupid. That's not it. I haven't even said anything. That was silly. Cookie Monster, thank you so much for the follow. Jesse up there says thank you. How's it going? Are you playing this game right now, or have you played it before? So I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what your... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Relentless, welcome to the Cool Kids Club. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. Oh, maybe this is when we need the picture. Let's see. I played it before. It's my favorite series. I'm playing the Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright right now. That's so funny, Cookie. Relentless, she was mentioning it earlier about that crossover game, Small World. So, how was Hammer killed? This is actually my first playthrough of the game. Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well. Let's see this murder weapon then. What's funny is, like, you gotta wonder, how did they knock him off into the spiky fence, you know, right here? Do you think that we're gonna say that he fell? Or what if she drove the truck into him? Yeah, I think it's gonna be the picture. But how funny would it be if it was the van pushed him into it? I bet if they hit him with the van, there'd be other problems they would have mentioned. Let's try this. I think we got it. Look at this photo. Ooh. What is this? I love that surprise evidence out of nowhere. Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order, order. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. Hold on, I'm not sure what Georgie's barking at, but I'm gonna close the door. Just one sec. Oh, Georgie. Let me go check on him real quick, make sure there's nothing bad going on. We have our windows and a sliding glass door open just to get some fresh air in the house because it was kind of warm. And he's talking with the neighbor dogs. Georgie's just warning you about all the invisible demons in your house. Don't tell me that, Relentless. I don't want to know that. So this is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. So when a man dies, how do you keep it a secret? What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? How the fence post pierced him through the chest? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago? That's cool. Has happened again. That fence really should be replaced. Yeah, it's right next to stairs. Come on. Pretty, but dangerous. Oh, one day you will be sorry his warnings were unheard. Now I'm gonna have, like, nightmares of, you ever see, like, Paranormal Activity? Instead of, like, my wife being possessed, it's just, like, demons standing over my bed watching me at night. Ugh. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside of the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs into the fence. You're welcome, John. So nice of you. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. That was an accident, right? Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. She's happy about that. Still, that's manslaughter. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. What would be sweet irony? 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. She's patronizing us. You deny that what I say is true. Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet, the body was found at Studio One, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio One and returned to the trailer all in the space of 15 minutes, of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? With the van and salmonella. The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio One and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well then, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. Obviously, you can't say she couldn't deal with it. I bet she could move it? That doesn't sound positive enough. It's gotta be this one. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. I love that. She's like, changing emotions so quickly. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Definitely the van. It's got to be the van. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio One, and you used the studio van to do it. There's our music. Ah, you just feel so much relief when you hear this. You know they're going down. Finish her. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. Let's see, it's like you can finally breathe again when you hear the music. Seriously, it's like what did we lose, 3 times? We were pretty hurt. That's like the worst I think I've done so far. You used the van to carry the body to Studio One. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body in the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? This one's a little trickier. I mean, he's been corroborating all of her testimony. They're always together. So, if he wasn't part of it, I think he would have said that, actually, I didn't see her for this part of time, you know? Of course that creepy bugger was going to be. He is pretty creepy. Let's judge a book by its cover. Of course he was. Of course Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put in the costume. That's true, she couldn't have carried it by himself, she couldn't carry it by herself. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. Ooh. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? Ooh, is she gonna break down? I love it when they break down. Salmonella is probably a nice guy who hopes Vasquez will one day notice him if he does her bidding. Yep, trying to play the nice guy, including murder. No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Yeah, that's a really weird response. I didn't expect that. I was just like, what? The timing of that is awesome. So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? I lost? Something like that? She did say that. I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jackhammer. Who can say? Come on. Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Oh, come on. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? You did it, Vasquez. I mean, even our compadre was telling us she did it. You have to nail her. We can't let her go. Testify again? Or just say you did it? I would think we need her to testify again. Maybe we can get more information to, like, find another lie. I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions and get the same answers. Dang it. A waste of time. Damn. Damn. To come so far, only to fail. Let's see. In Ace Attorney, you can prove beyond doubt that your client is innocent, but as long as you don't have to play detective and come up with infallible proof who really did it, the guilty verdict is still at stake. Super unfair. I know. Whatever side we're on has the disadvantage. Always. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Oh, what? What is he doing? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. Oh. Dang it. I thought he was going to do something cool. He's going to join our side. Be like, nope, she's a murderer. We got to take her down. I see. Very well. That was good. Oh. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. I was hoping to wing it. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly do you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened After they found the body. Edgeworth's redemption begins. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that? Edgeworth? This is kind of cool. We're all teamed up against her. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then, I went home. See no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist out the truth of her, Nick. Right. Dun dun dun. After finding the body. So she says that she was a Sal Oldbag, the security lady, when they found the body. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Press harder. Always press harder. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. I mean, we have to assume you're lying, because you've been lying this whole time. Boy. The witness will continue her testimony. Then she says the assistant was there, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us. You expect me to be calm. You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Press harder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers really doesn't stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting that location. No one noticed he was missing. Oh, that's messed up. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Just because he's generic looking doesn't mean you don't go look for him. And there's like hardly anyone at the studio, so it's easy to find someone. Very well, Miss Vasquez. You may continue. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then silence, dead silence. Silence. That was silence. Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. The security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Old Bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going around the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Always press harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. She's like in love with Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. So she asked to be left out of the proceedings. Really? You're gonna ask, like, I don't want to be a witness? It doesn't work like that. You asked to be left out. Yes. It seemed that everyone else was questioned. And I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. It doesn't freaking matter what you're fond of. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that, since we were in a meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it, with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. The big, like, mafia-type guys? I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? Oops. There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. Miss Vasquez, please continue. Objection! Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. I love this. We're tag teaming her. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said that she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Ooh, nice. I didn't think of that. The sound effects are amazing. Order, order. Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Let's see. In a just world, Global Studios and its executives would have had some major lawsuits and criminal charges on their hands. Honestly, after the first murder, I don't know how they covered up, but yeah, people should know about that. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So, the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I love this. It's basically saying the witness will lie more to change their reasoning. I knew that Hammer was injured and could not do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. She had to think of that. Sal, the director. We have to find something to peg this on her here. Or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. Oh, crap. Believe in you, Nick. Go get him. I was with Sal. Okay, so now we're going through it all again. So she says she was with Sal and the security lady. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. She called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. She asked to be left out of the proceedings. She went back to the trailer to get her script and direction notes. She knew Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so she left him behind. Oh, crap. I wanted to stop there, but let's see what we have. So another van to meet. Maybe something about Sal not being there, but I'm not sure what we could do to prove that. I wonder if it has to be a piece of evidence we haven't actually used yet. That's totally possible. It says she was with all of them except for Powers. And the assistant was there too. Do we ever call the assistant here? I wonder if there's something with the assistant we're not thinking of. So she immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. She asked to be left out of the proceedings. She went back to the trailer to get her script and direction notes. She knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Maybe a timestamp on when he was injured. Oh, you know what? She doesn't seem to put any kind of timestamps in here, does she? Crap. I bet it has to do with the monkey head. I bet one of those statements that she was saying, and it's hard to remember where everybody was when things were happening, but somebody shouldn't have been able to go where she said they did. So she went back to the trailer to get her script and direction notes. Back to the trailer from where? Where do they say they were right now? I think they said that they were... We bring up the map. I think they said they were in the employee area, right? And she went back to go get her script? Is that what I'm thinking of? Or if she was Studio 1 and she went back to get her script. She wouldn't have been able to because the path was blocked, right? Or Studio 2, sorry, to the employee area. That was blocked. So that might be the contradiction. Let's try this one. What happens when we press run this again? I forget. So the script and your direction notes. She says, yes, they're quite valuable. I wouldn't do to have them stolen. I guess not. When we press harder. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Okay. Guys going through all that again, but I think that's where I need to call it out. I'm having a hard time not telling you. I know. Let me try at least once or twice. We already went through all this, so I'm just skipping through it. It's a pretty cool scene. I like how he's turning around. Alright. Let's try this. The music did not stop. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. No, it doesn't. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Really? Crap. Maybe it's the very last statement, then. I knew that Hammer was injured, and I couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind. How would she know Hammer was injured? This is at 2 o'clock. He's dragging one leg. Oh, I think he got injured before they started, so he got injured after they got started, right? Like this time. So, if he was injured later, you wouldn't have known not to bring the script beforehand. I'm gonna try this one. I think that's it. Oh, thank God. The music stopped. You knew that Hammer was injured. Woohoo! You guys are probably just biting your tongues. Come on, John, quit being so stupid. Don't you think that that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. So I had the correct evidence, but the wrong reasoning. Pretending. One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. I've done that too. Like blind luck, right? Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, nice. And when he was was he doing this? Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Nice. Order, order. I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Hey, that's not how this works. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? What do we have in our inventory? What could we possibly use to prove that she wanted Hammer dead? Maybe the drug stake? That was like a deliberate thing done to keep willpower out of his costume. Let me see what we have. Could be proof. Think outside the box, John. Ooh. It could be revenge for this. Remember that not having a motive is also an option if you cannot think of anything. So if I can't think of anything and I say there is no motive though, isn't that just like choosing the lose option? Okay, the van doesn't make any sense. It kind of makes sense if you could tell it was premeditated because it was like drugged meat. Or the sleeping pill. Maybe this because it's like a revenge thing. I don't know why she would want to get revenge for this person, but in 5 years, come on. Wait a second. Didn't they mention something about how that one girl with the glasses that kind of works at the studio, she was telling us that they're moving away from all this children's stuff and they want to do more like serious shows. Well, if this guy is like a kid show star, they want to get away from the Steel Samurai and probably just get rid of that altogether. What's an easy way to get rid of that? Murder the star of the show? Then you have no reason not to cancel it, right? Maybe something like that? Seems a bit extreme, but okay. Or just fire him. Alright, I'll say of course I can't prove it. She's just a psychopath. Nick, no. Saying you can't prove it now would be admitting defeat. She'll get away. But what proof could I possibly have? I don't care if it's impossible. You still have to fight this one. Okay. I have proof, and I'll show it to you. Present to the court evidence as Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. Crap. Something to do with the past, with like every picture of his victory? That doesn't make much sense. Kid's camera used to take pictures? I mean, that shows like what crazy fans that he has, but... I'm gonna try that picture, although we've already used it. Nothing else, maybe the steak. I can only think of the picture or the steak. Let's try it. I don't like how this one's turning out. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. Ooh, maybe I got it right. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. I totally thought I got it wrong. There was no music stop. The game's tricking me. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for your petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes. Undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, and yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? The music stopping is only guaranteed during cross-examination presenting. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Not just like regular present this, whatchamacallit, evidence? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Dang it, that sounds very truthful. Mr. Wright, please explain... Oh, did I just take more damage? Please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. That was my motive. Crap. This is stressful because I only have like 2 hits left of health, I think. I was gonna say she had no motive. She crazy. That doesn't seem like a very good answer though. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. For some reason I want to go back to the scrapbook. That just shows how it could have been done. Looks like we got nothing. She crazy. Seriously a funny thing. Alright, let's try that. None of those other ones make any sense. Ooh, I like that sound. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. Ooh, so she was covering up a murder even though she's trying to protect herself. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. This music. What? What? This is my jam. Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. I knew she was going to break that. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Wow. Got a confession. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel? Oh, this is the first guy. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No. No. How could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Manuel! Snake! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. And the victim was going to be the murderer. Instead, it was like a self-defense manslaughter. This is weird. Except, because she never went to the police or anything, it looks worse for her. No! Please, please don't die. I can't tell who's talking. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. She's so weird. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought up yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Oh, Manuel is pronounced Manuel? Really? I wonder why they don't just spell it Manuel. I've heard that before, but I always thought Manuel was spelled different. But I'll use that. Manuel, okay. Very well. This court finds defendant Mr. Will Powers not guilty. I love that. Confetti. Has there always been confetti, or is this my imagination? That is all. This court is adjourned. Wow, that case was intense. Holy crap, guys. Now we're in the lobby. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. There's always confetti. Very festive. Yes, but sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Oh, do we have evidence we could show? Let's see, it's usually a Spanish, Portuguese, or German name and can be short for Emmanuel. Oh, yeah. Or Emmanuel, is that what you're saying? Because in Spanish, when I hear Manuel, it's always pronounced Manuel. At least, like, Hispanic is how I usually hear it. But yeah, I can see how different cultures would have, like, a unique take on that. Why would he want to frame him? Oh, probably this. Maybe he's jealous because he's always the victim, and the Steel Samurai is always the winner. This is going to be my guess. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put blame on you because every victory scene the Steel Samurai has won. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Wow, he was actually sleeping that whole time. It was not a lie. Congratulations, WP. Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Oh, it's being cancelled. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Except somebody was murdered in that costume too? Nick, Edgeworth. Oh, he's actually talking to us out here. Awkward. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Oh no! Get the feelings off me! Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Wow. So he's still kind of a jerk. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals. Right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Ooh, foreshadowing? Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? I think they did mention like a past a little bit a long time ago. And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident that happened 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Oh, that's good. Pink Princess. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're going to watch it with me, right? Wasn't she supposed to be this character? Or be part of it? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. He looks like Wolverine. What's the problem? Yeah, this is that show that Sal was inspired to write after meeting Maya. Yeah, I was thinking Maya was going to be like cast in it, but I guess it's just inspiration. That music is awesome. The end. Oh, nice, guys. That was a tough one. Episode 4. And there's 5 episodes in this, huh? Look at that Dracula-looking guy in the background. This is kind of cool. Yeah, that was a great case. I like that one. Holy cow, guys. If they're all that long, these games have some meat to them. I thought these were going to be so much shorter. Well done. Oh, thank you. I wonder, how bad is it when you actually like lose in the case? Does it put you at the very beginning of the chapter or the episode, or how does that work? Let's see, episode 4 is the final case of the original Japanese version, so it ties up a lot of loose ends and is very climactic. Oh, nice. So I'm guessing episode 5, does that just feel like bonus DLC, or does it like tie things in between the two games maybe? Of course we're going to save. All right, we got time. Episode 4. Let's see, I messed up once, but it put me back to the beginning of the part of the trial I was at. Oh, that's not too bad, Relentless. And plus, you start that over with the knowledge of what you know, so if you don't make the same mistakes, it's probably so much easier to get through it. I see, it feels more like a bonus thing, but it is a worthy case in its own right. I'm excited. Right. So, case 4. Finally. Oh, they're on a boat. It's been, what, 15 years? About that, yes. 15 years is a long time to wait. You can't imagine how much I've suffered. What's happening here? You've suffered? But now, the perfect opportunity has presented itself. At last, I shall have my revenge. Ooh. What? Merry Christmas. Bam! Ah, it's a Dracula looking dude. This is one of your favorite cases? Nice. December 25th, Christmas Day. They shouldn't be at work. Come on. Hey Nick. Do you know if there are any good waterfalls around here? Waterfalls? Dare I ask why? Let's see, John literally didn't even register what he saw. That wasn't, I imagine it was just a similar looking character, but was that, what's his name? Edgeworth? So I thought he looked similar to Edgeworth, but in that intro picture, it looked like the hair was slicked back, so I thought it was somebody else. Or am I going crazy? That was Edgeworth. Okay, I wasn't going nuts. At first I thought, that looked kind of like him, but then I saw that dude that didn't have like the same hair as Edgeworth in that poster, and I'm like, it must be someone else. That's interesting. Why? He was just turning out to be a good guy, too. Okay, waterfalls? Dare I ask why? This is gonna be a weird chapter, huh? Duh, Nick, isn't it obvious? I need a waterfall to stand under, preferably a freezing one. Why do you need to stand under a waterfall? Oh, is that part of your spirit medium training? Of course, except I've been slacking off lately. I need to brave the elements and be forged anew under rushing spring waters. Okay. I don't know about any waterfalls per se, but Guard Lake is pretty close. Let's see, Edgeworth was in that poster too, in the bottom of it. Oh, in the bottom. Okay, see, I was looking at the big figure in it, and the person had like their hair slicked back. Bold of you to assume John notices things. Yes, as you will notice in Johncadia, a lot of things just kind of go right over my head. I pick up on the weirdest things, and sometimes the most obvious things are just like, oh darn. Sorry, but them's the breaks. Couldn't you just take a cold shower or something? Good idea. So much for rushing spring waters. Let's see, who made the mistake of assuming John notices things? That was a silly mistake. It's an easy one to make if you haven't been here long. The TV. Next, in the news. A large, unidentified animal was sighted at Guard Lake. Uh-oh. Good thing she's not going there. That would be me, Tajay. How's it going, Tajay? Hope you're having an awesome day. The town is buzzing with excitement. Locals are calling it Gardy, in a tip to the hat to Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. Though it is a namesake, Nessie proved to be a hoax. Locals are confident their Gardy is the real deal. Boring. Been better? Oh, what's wrong, dude? See, can't they show real news for a change? Sorry to hear you're not doing too good. Nick, the water pressure is kind of low in that shower. You want more pressure, huh? Why don't you go down to the fire department and have them spray you with the hose? Good idea, Nick. No, it's not a good idea. Apparently, Fey blood is no aid in detecting sarcasm. We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. Strange occurrences continue at Guard Lake, but this time, it's murder. Guard Lake again? The body of a man was found in the lake early this morning. A suspect was apprehended. Sources inside the police department revealed that the suspect's name is Miles Edgeworth, age 24. Real world issues. Sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah, sometimes life gives you lemons, and it can be very hard to turn it into lemonade sometimes, dude. Edgeworth was an up-and-coming prosecutor known for his skills and connections. He was guaranteed a long and rewarding career. Has he thrown it all away? Edgeworth? What's going on? Edgeworth would never do something like... Nick? Oh, Maya. The fireman yelled at me when I called him. We've got bigger things to worry about than that. They are arrested Edgeworth. What? You mean the prosecutor? Yeah, he's a suspect in a murder. What? Oh, that's cool. We get to be the defense lawyer for Edgeworth. When? Where? Whom? Why? How? I don't know. Let's find out, Nick. Okay, so now that it's a new day, I think we'll get new stuff when we look at everything. Have you been playing any more Final Fantasy, Tajay? We got our characters up to like level, I think like 20 or 21 or something. And then I spent a bit of time doing crafting in that game. So I think I have mining up to like level 20 and blacksmithing up to like 14 or something. Looks like it's cleaning day again at the hotel across the way. I hear they're planning a second branch outside the city. I can see the bellboy getting the angle of that screwdriver in the drawer just right. Maya's favorite plant. Its name is Charlie. Maya's gotten the knack for watering it lately. Charlie's been perking up these days. That's right, she almost drowned it last time we checked the plant. Maya brought in a poster of the Steel Samurai the other day. That looks like the same poster as before. We had a big fight over whether to put it up or not. I know she's just waiting for a chance to sneak it up on the wall. Okay, so it's not there yet, that's why. Difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. They mock me. I tried reading one, and it made my head hurt. When I closed it, it slipped out of my hand, and then my foot hurt too. Mia's desk. If we had more clients, I would probably sit here more often. Lately, I've been spending more time on the couch watching TV. Must be slow at the job. Alright. What to do? Let's see, yeah, I think I'm level 10-ish, though not really liking the controller interface. Wish I had a keyboard I could plug in. I tried it with a controller once, but not a PlayStation controller. I actually have like a retractable controller, so I can like take the controller and it expands, and then I clip it on like a phone, or for me personally, I used my my tablet. So it basically turned my tablet into like a Nintendo Switch, and then I streamed Final Fantasy from my computer, a tablet, and I played that in bed for a while one time. It worked pretty well, but I didn't feel like I was as quick as I was with the keyboard and mouse. But when I was looking up a bunch of like beginner guides on Final Fantasy, I saw a whole lot of ones for controller kind of like tips and tricks that might help if you have to use a controller. What do you mean? Let's investigate. We should talk to Mr. Edgeworth and check out the crime scene. You're right. We need more information. Save aimlessness and confusion for later. Let's see, it works okay, but targeting is kind of terrible in particular. Yeah, because with a keyboard, you can either just use your mouse, or you just hit the tab button to quickly cycle through. Let's see, you have any ideas? Well, got any good ideas? Not really. I do my best thinking when I'm standing underneath a waterfall. Keeps talking about that waterfall. So we have nothing to show her. Let's get a move on. So we can go to the crime scene first, or we can go talk to him. I kind of want to talk to him first. Let's see, I have to let off my skills to target the next monster during the combat, which can be crucial seconds difference between life and death. Oh, because yeah, you're mashing those skills, and sometimes I think, depending on your rotation, there might be like hardly any break. When you start off, it's a little bit easier, but as you get more skills, there's like less break in between triggering them. Let's see, it's auto-targeting, likes to randomly select NPC and other crap instead of monsters. You know what you might want to do, Tajay? I thought I saw somebody go into the options in that game, and there's a few things you can change for the targeting to like kind of alter how it behaves. What a great way for Phoenix and Maya to spend Christmas Day. I know I keep looking at that December 25th and I'm like, oh my gosh. So you were just hanging out at work on Christmas and now you have to go to the, penitentiary. I wonder though, how big of a holiday is Christmas in Japan? Maybe they're just kind of like, meh, go work on that day. Everybody else does. You know, Nick, we've all been here in one time or another, haven't we? I guess it comes with the territory. I'm not sure it's something we should mention to too many people. Let's see. Last Friday, you were chatting in Andy's stream, got me a little interested in multiplayer games. Ooh, funny thing. If you want to try that Final Fantasy, it is free. You can play it on PC or PS4. You just create a free account and you can get up to level 35, which is actually quite a lot of content. In the main game, you can get up to like level 80, but that takes a long time to do. Level 35, you could probably play like 20 or 30 hours and figure out if you like it or not. Let's see, Japan is more of a Valentine's Day deal there for Christmas. It's geared towards couples. Oh, that's kind of cool. That would be a lot cheaper than how Christmas is here. Let's see, to be fair, the English language version is supposed to take place in a fictionalized Japanese-esque version of California. Yeah, I think Relentless was saying it's kind of like a San Francisco type area. Let's see. I'm not sure. It's something we should mention to too many people. I already read that. There he is. He looks freaking huge, doesn't he? Ah. Hey, Edgeworth, come back. Where is he going to go? Did he just like come in and then leave visiting hours? What are you doing here? Nick, I don't think he's in a good mood. Well, he is in detention. Were you in a good mood when you were here? So, you've come to laugh at the fallen attorney. Then laugh. Laugh. Well, why aren't you laughing? Nick, should we be laughing? Ah, it's a trick. Laugh and he'll get mad. Or burst into tears. Edgeworth, we don't have so much free time we can spend at coming down here to laugh at you. On Christmas. Yes, you do. Actually, he's right. I hoped you wouldn't come. I didn't want you to see me. Not like this. Not like this. I didn't want to see you like this either, believe me. Oops. Edgeworth, tell me what happened. Why should I? What are you going to do about it? Huh? We're going to help you, that's what. Help me? You? Don't be ridiculous. Sorry? You're a novice. You've only been in 3 trials, and we've beaten you in 2 of them. Come on now. Hey. Sure, you got lucky and won all 3. But your luck's bound to run out someday. You need real skill, right? Experience. Or ghosts to help you, apparently. Yeah, a funny thing, if you do end up playing that, me and Andy are probably going to stream it again sometime in the future. Not sure when. Just depends. I don't want to usually take over necessarily all of our streaming days that we usually have for John Cadia. So I'll probably do Final Fantasy stream days as like bonus streams. See, is it free? I didn't know. I started playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer a few days ago. It's quite fun. I don't feel quite as judged by people as I think they are glad the server is still active. That's true. And actually, MMOs in particular, like I like to play them very casually. I'm not like super hardcore, but it seems that when you get near the end of the game, when you're real far into it, people can be kind of jerks if you don't do everything exactly right. But I've heard Final Fantasy's community is actually really good. Like, if you just let them know, hey, this is my first time doing this dungeon or whatever, they're super helpful. Nick, he's insulting you, Nick. Why am I the one who has to get angry? The murder took place at Gord? I want to say Gord. Gord Lake, correct? Yes, late last night. The lake is a long way from your offices in the courthouse. Why were you down there? I see no need to tell you. Mr. Edgeworth, You didn't really... Gordy. Huh? I went to see Gordy. Gordy? What's that? I'll tell you later. Why won't Edgeworth talk to us? And we have nothing to present him. Let's present our badge. Your attorney's badge. Edgeworth, let me defend you. Haha. Good one, right? But I'm not that hard up. Not yet. What do you mean by that? Me? Trust a wet behind-the-ears lawyer with only 3 trials under his belt? Never. What? My case is near hopeless, right? Every defense attorney I've talked to has turned me down. What? Simply put, they were afraid they'd lose. It occurred to me that it might be my fault that they lack confidence. After all, I did get every single one of their clients declared guilty. I don't believe it. Regardless, I don't want you involved in this. You in particular, I cannot ask to do this. Wonder what his aversion is since we dominated him in the last trial. It's gourd like, you know, the vegetable? Fruit? Whatever. I don't even know if I ever had a gourd vegetable or fruit. It's a fruit? The thing you put in your mouth and consume? I'm trying to think. Gourd. I'm gonna say gourd. Let's see. If his record is so great, then why would he not want the one defense attorney who beats him to be by his side? There's that. Or why is he asking other people? Because I don't know how it is in Japan, but in the US, you're allowed to defend yourself. Like, if he thinks he's such a good lawyer, he should be able to just be his own defense, you know? Maybe you can't do that in Japan. I'm not sure. Alright, let's check out the murder scene. Gourd Lake Nature Park. This is where it happened? Yeah, Gourd Lake is in the middle of the park. I can see some police walking around in there. Questioning people, probably. Oh, I bet we're going to run into Gumshoe. See, this game has its moments and can be a lot of fun and humor, but the legal system in this game makes me want to pull my hair out. Why are you so stupid? Hey, isn't that Detective Gumshoe over there? Of course it is. Well, pal, there's enough of us here. Anyone found anything? Sorry, sir. Nothing. Idiot. That trial's tomorrow. We need clues on the double. But, sir, there weren't any clues. That's why we arrested that attorney, Mr. Edgeworth. It's clear, sir. He's the one who... Shut up. Just, you try saying that again. I'll make you sorry if you do. So just get out of my face, pal. Yes, sir. Detective Gumshoe's kind of scary today. So Gumshoe, I think, really likes, what's his name, Edgeworth, so he probably doesn't want him to be guilty. It wouldn't be compelling if it was realistic. Yeah, real court could be super boring. Recruits. Ah. Eek. Hey, you're that hairy guy, hairy butt. Keeps thinking that. Wright, Phoenix Wright. Will he ever learn my name? And just what are you doing here, pal? Investigating? Well, yes, I suppose. Well, I'm here to help. Ask me anything you want. Bring it. He seems different than usual. I wonder what's up. Mr. Edgeworth hasn't actually asked us to defend him yet. Huh? Oh, you don't say. We should check out the crime scene first. I feel winter's chill from the bare leaves today. Let's see, to be fair, I'm also a criminal justice major. Oh wow, so it may just be getting under my skin more than the average person. Yeah, I only notice like the really blatant ones that all I know is from like courtroom dramas and movies and stuff. It's like, that doesn't seem right. Nope. But then also, you gotta think it's like, a country with a totally different court system trying to mimic ours, and of course they're going to get things wrong. What is it about winter that turns people into poets? I don't know, but my toes are starting to feel numb. Yes, my poetry has that effect on some people. Okay, so is it just trees? But yeah, I can totally see how if you studied courtroom stuff and then you watch it on TV or in games, it probably gets under your skin when they get things wrong. I'm the same with like computer programming stuff, and when you see like hackers and things in movies, it's usually so stupid. Just because it's stuff that like I know, you know? Like I said, not to put the game down, it's still funny, it's just infuriating at the same time, yes. Yeah, there's certain things that like movies and games, they just never get right. Although more recently I've seen more games do hacker stuff a bit better. My favorite hacker thing that was just totally stupid was, you remember that movie Independence Day from like the mid-90s? There's that scene when Jeff Goldblum, spoiler alert, it's like a 30-year-old movie, Jeff Goldblum goes up to the spacecraft in one of their spaceships, right? To like infiltrate them and hack them with this virus. So he's using like an iMac or some kind of Apple laptop, and he has a computer virus that he somehow uploads from his Mac into like the mainframe database or whatever for this alien spacecraft. What? How do you do any of that? Like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. I know they were trying to do the whole War of the Worlds. It's like a virus that takes them out, but it's pretty funny. Aliens had Wi-Fi, unprotected Wi-Fi, accessible from a Mac. To be fair, like a lot of courtroom stuff they show in real hacking, it'd also be boring as hell. Yes, real hacking is not fun. It's a whole lot of work and sometimes you get nothing. The sign says Gourd Lake Nature Park. This place is full of families picnicking on the weekend, but no waterfall. Not many picnickers come here for spiritual training, Maya. Although waterfalls are not just spiritual training, come on. There's like not much here. What happened? Detective Gumshoe, do you know what happened here? Huh? You don't know, pal? No. Wow. Okay, Mr. Head in the pink or fluffy pink clouds lawyer. Head in the... Huh? Never mind, I'll tell you. It happened last night, about 15 minutes after midnight. Speaking of detective stuff, have you guys ever seen that game, what is it called? L.A. Noire. I played that on the PlayStation 3 way back when it first came out. I have it on PC, and that's a game I was kind of interested to play again. I thought it was really unique. Although, I'm not sure how much of a different playthrough you can have based on the choices you make. Maybe some different stuff can happen. It was a neat game, though. Let's see. There was a boat out on Gourd Lake. In that boat were two men. One of these men shot the other with a pistol. Bam. And the shooter was Mr. Edgeworth. A cop arrived on the scene and arrested him. How did they get in there so fast? Let's see, you haven't played it yourself, but you watched it being streamed and it seemed fun. I also was thinking about getting the VR version. I haven't played that, but I think it's like a lot shorter. It's not like the full game. Let's see, I love computers and I'm total techie, but learning to code was one of the most excruciating experiences of my life. It's funny, like you can be really good at like just like managing and working around a computer, but when you get into coding, it's all math. And I remember when I was taking my computer science degree, I was shocked at how many math classes I had to take. But after doing enough computer courses, I understood why. There's a lot of math and programming. Well, there was a witness. When the report came in, we raced to the lake. A witness? You don't think Mr. Edgeworth is a murderer, do you? Absolutely not. It's impossible. I don't care if there's a witness either. I don't believe a lick of it. Right. Who cares what the witness says? Who cares what witnesses say? They're unimportant. I care. You really believe in him, don't you, detective? Of course I do. But the police are pretty sure he's the killer. Nobody's even really taken this investigation that seriously. Oh no. After all the help Mr. Edgeworth has been to us, hard to imagine that no one's standing up to take his side. Well, at least you are, Detective. At least you are. Defense request. Is it true? No one will take Mr. Edgeworth's case? Yeah. He's a bit of a celebrity. If you defended him and lost, your reputation would be sure to suffer. What's more, the case against him is, well, it's pretty solid. I suppose it would be if they have a witness. Hey, pal. Don't tell me you're going to turn your back on him, too. Remember the Steel Samurai case? He helped us. Mr. Edgeworth helped you get your client declared innocent. I know. I went to Edgeworth. I tried. He really doesn't want us to represent him. Especially not us, he said. What? Well, that doesn't make sense, pal. You should have heard him talking about you after that trial. He kept saying, right, 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 over and over. Nick? I'm not sure that's a good sign. Neither am I. Why would he want your help? Or wouldn't he want your help? I don't get it. Alright, let's find out about this witness. Who was this witness? Sorry pal, that's confidential. Anyway, the witness saw everything, apparently. I'm sure they'll turn up at the trial tomorrow. Was that the only one witness? Yep, it was pretty cold out in the lake that night. And it was Christmas Eve after all. Still, we're being thorough. You never know when you're going to turn up another witness. That's why we're here today, checking things out. So far, we're coming up empty. Oh, it's Christmas today. I'd forgotten. The hell do you forget it's Christmas? What are you getting for me for Christmas, Nick? Talk to Santa. Detective Gumshoe, sir. What? Find something? No, sir, not yet. But there was a call from the precinct. They want to hold an investigation briefing. A briefing? Right, I'm off. Oh, sorry, pal. I guess you heard. I gotta go. Any last things you want to ask me before I head back? How to get in touch with you or the autopsy report? I think we want to be able to get in touch with them. But I think we're going to get in touch with them again no matter what. So let's ask about the autopsy report. Well, yes. Do you have any information on the victim? Sorry. They haven't worked up the autopsy report yet. Dang it. I'm still waiting for it myself. Actually, say, if you get the time, drop by the precinct. We can talk more there, pal. You're not coming back, Detective? Probably not, pal. So, what should we do if we have something to talk to you about? Right. Here, I'll show you how to get to the precinct. Come down and see me anytime. Directions to the police station received from Detective Gumshoe. Oh, hey, Detective Gumshoe. What? We'd like to take a look around the park. Can we walk around? Yeah, no problem, pal. You got my permission. You know, Nick, I think there's something to be said for talking to people when they're busy. Yeah, they don't have time to think about not giving you information. Right. Let's go get investigating. Alright, so we want to go into the park. Hot dog stands, samurai dogs. Nice. I like the reference. Wowzers, this is Guard Lake? Yup. I'm not sure it warrants a wowzers, though. Probably not. But hey, look at that snack stand. Samurai dogs. I want a samurai dog, please. I bet they're great. With a name like Samurai Dog, how could they not be? They're a little behind the times, though. The kids are all into the Pink Princess now. I mean, like, you know. Nope. I don't know. Alright, let's investigate. Trash can is empty. At least the place is well maintained. Dude, when I was in Japan, That is the freaking cleanest country you could imagine. It was amazing. And there's no trash cans around, which blew my mind that people didn't just throw trash everywhere because you had to take it with you. But they did. They were just so respectful and so clean. There's the tree. Wow, Guard Lake is really big. Oh, I thought I was highlighting the tree. Got the lake. Yeah. Say, Nick, why is it called Gourd Lake? Oh, well, a long time ago, they used to grow gourds here. Ah, the fruit or vegetable. Let's see, I've heard Japan is also really quiet considering how many people there are. Oh, it's like awkwardly quiet, relentless, especially during the day. Everybody is just business, 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 and beeline it to wherever they're going. When me and Andy were on the train going back and forth, we couldn't talk to each other because it's like not polite to talk on trains. Everybody's just like kind of quiet and napping, or they're on their phone doing work or something like that. So me and Andy, literally right next to each other, would text each other so we could have conversations while on the bus or on the trains. Kind of weird. Is a fruit, Blaze? Okay. Well, a long time ago, they used to grow gourds here. Whoa, no way. I was sure it was because the lake looked like a gourd when viewed from above. You know, like an hourglass shape. Well, it is shaped like a gourd, actually, but that's just a coincidence. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, it's like a sign. I almost didn't see that signpost. Left, boat docks, right, exit. A lineup of plastic benches. I guess the idea is you buy a dog and you can eat it here. I doubt anyone would sit here and eat on a day like this, because it's so cold. Except maybe Maya, if she had a samurai dog. Looks like there's some birthday stuff right there. Huh. Someone left out some poppers here. You know, you pull the string, and it goes pop. Yeah, I know the ones. You see them a lot around New Year's. Hey, Nick, they might be a clue. Let's take them. Let's steal them. Come on, admit it. You just want to pop them, right? Was it that obvious? Poppers. Take them. I suppose it couldn't hurt. You know, taking evidence from a crime scene. Yeah, couldn't hurt at all. Huh, where'd they go? Into my pocket. So a classic party noisemaker. Pull the string, it goes bang. Not very clue-worthy. But why was there this stuff there? A hot dog stand. It's closed. The Christmas fringe looks a little half-baked. The banner reads, Samurai Dogs. Somebody needs to redecorate. Okay, I think that was it. Oh, we can go farther into this place. So we can go from... Where are we? We're at the lake. We can go to the lake woods or the rental shop. I like it here, Nick. Look, someone's camping. They've got guts camping at the scene of a murder. Hey, Nick. If they were camping here last night, they might know something about the murder. That's true. Good call, Maya. Let's go talk to them. This SUV has seen better days. It's dented all over. I can't believe anyone would drive their car down here. Well, I mean, if it's already dented all over, can't do too much more damage, right? The sign says no camping. Funny place to pick funny place to pitch your tent. Did I just not read that? Funny place to pit your tent. Pitch your tent. Oh, this bitch. Uh-oh. Now I'm scared who I'm going to see. Wait, if the sign said no setting tents on fire, I don't think they have signs like that. Oh. Cool little cooking station here, though. Hey, Nick. What? Don't tell me you're hungry again. No. I was just wondering, why are camping pots and pans made of aluminum? See, they didn't talk about that in any of the law books. So there's no law saying they have to be made out of aluminum then. I actually think of like cast iron skillet for outdoor stuff. I'm not having this conversation. Get me out of here. There's food and some magazines on the sheet. Takes a pretty tough skin to camp in this cold. How do you guys do in cold weather? Do you mind cold weather or do you like it warm? Extremely lame pun name incoming. Ooh, my favorite. Let's see. Is Phoenix Wright a pun name? Phoenix Wright. Phoenix, what does that sound like? I can't think of a pun. I think of right as like he's always right, but I'm not sure about the Phoenix part. Let's see, the trees grow quite thick here. Further back, the trees fade into the shadow where the sunlight can't reach them. I think that's everything. Yeah, it's just the right thing? Okay. I was like, I wonder if I'm missing something. Oops. Wait, we don't want to move. Oh, I could slide. I see. This camera has a mic and some sort of attachment. That's a hell of a mic. It must take pictures when triggered by a noise. Wow, cool. Let's try it out. Yeah, that's no problem. Just use people's shit. Hi, I'm Nick. Maybe I'm not saying it loud enough. Hey, I'm Nick. Huh? Nick, will you stop that? Maybe it's broken? Don't kick it. Maybe it isn't set to respond to voices. Well, what then? These things? The party poppers? Aha. So I bet like a nice clap would have done it too. In Japanese, the last name Narahado, which means something like I see, if I'm not mistaken. So it's Phoenix Narahado. Also, being called Phoenix is probably a reference to his comebacks and trials, similar to the actual Phoenix rising from the ashes. Oh, I like that. Well, it responded. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey you, get your hands off of that. What in the Sam Hill? Look what you've done now. There goes the whole roll of film. What? Sorry's nice, but it don't pay my bills. You know how much roll this film costs? I'll pay you back. What were you thinking setting off a party popper in a place like this? Well... What? Don't try to play stupid with me just because you think I'm some country bumpkin. Was she listening the whole time? Let's see, Ryuichi Narahado is Phoenix's Japanese name. I like how their name sounds. Probably can't pronounce it worth a lick, but it sounds cool. Yeah, I know what y'all Yanks think. I say those southern folk talk with an exaggerated drawl. Why, they must be dumb. Well, let me tell you, just because I might be dumb, don't mean we all are. Nick, oh. And who are you? Now, her chaperone? Yeah, no, rather, we're sort of friends? Just figure out what y'all are and gonna say it, for Jesus' sake. God, I'd rather not sit through one of Papa's drawls and listen to you stutter all day. Oh boy. I guess we should play her for the film. Watch it. Yes, ma'am. On second thought, I'll pay later. Maya, I'm really sorry. This chick's crazy. This camera is rigged to respond to noise, but it only responds to loud noises, like a party popper. Yeah, I think we looked at a lot of the stuff. I don't see any other spots showing, so I think we're ready to talk. Much as I don't want to. What happened? What? Can't you see I'm changing the film on my camera here? Really quick, guys, I'm gonna open up that door. I closed it earlier so that we wouldn't hear Jesse or Georgie barking, but it's getting hot in here. Need some fresh air. This will take just a second. Fresh air. Trying to open it, it came right into my face. Alright. Someone, I'm not naming any names, but someone used up a whole roll. Sorry. That didn't work. I wonder if I have anything to show her that would get her attention. What? Yeah, oh, same thing. Okay. I guess we could show her our badge. That's the only thing we have. This is my badge. Huh? Our badge is supposed to be all shiny and impressive. You a cop or something? I'm a lawyer. A what? Y'all ain't trying to... She can have like a southern accent? Y'all gonna try and pull one of them lawsuits on me over that film now? Because I'll have y'all know I'm a fighter and I wrestled meaner looking things than you. I think she's southern. Let's go with that kind of accent. No, it's not that at all. She's supposed to be southern. Yeah, okay, perfect. They mentioned or she said, you think I'm just some dumb southern person? Let's go with that. We're here investigating a murder that took place here on the island. Or on the lake. A murder? Sounds cool. Why didn't y'all just say that in the first place? Go ahead and ask me anything y'all like. Finally, some cooperation. You too. Y'all can come out hiding now. I won't bite hard. Who else? Come to think of it, where did Maya get to? Country bumpkin, she said. She mentioned having a drawl. Got it. It's funny, sometimes I don't get a description of how the character sounds, so I just gotta make it up on the fly. Sorry, she was scared. I was feeling a little overwhelmed. The culture gap and all. The culture gap between the South and the rest of the U.S.? What? Never you mind, honey. I can talk Yank for you if it pleases you. Thanks. I think I'll be okay. Right then, I'm Loda. Or Lotta Hart. But y'all can call me Lotta. I'm here photographing meteor showers for a research product. Mighty pleased to meet ya. Okay, so now can we ask these questions? We told you it was a lame pum. Lame pum incoming. Oh yeah. When was that murder anyway? I ain't seen much television lately. It happened late in the night on Christmas Eve. That's so. Christmas Eve? A man on the boat was shot. Did you see anything? Well, let me see. A boat, you say? I reckon I might have seen one. Not sure, though. Y'all gotta remember, I've been watching this here lake for a good 3 days now. I seen enough boats to choke a mule. Kinda hard to remember which I seen when. What's nice is she must have pictures of the boat that we're thinking of. So, what is it you do, Lotta? Huh? Me? Y'all don't really want to know that, do ya? Actually, I'm a research student at Country U, right at the heart of the heartland. John thinking ahead. See, some things I pick up on that are kind of subtle, like foreshadowing, and then sometimes they throw it in my face, and I don't see it. Wow, neat. Nick, she's a research student at University, Country U. So I hear. Thanks for repeating that. So, when did you come up here? Let me see. I guess it was about 3 days ago. What are you photographing? Didn't I tell you that already? Meteors. Yep, meteor showers. Falling stars? That's quite a camera you have there. Y'all better know it. It's German made. A genuine Solingen. Country U, as opposed to urban U or city U. Isn't that where they make knives? So what's that device you have stuck to the camera? Huh? Device? Your camera went off all by itself when I fired the party popper. Oh, that mic triggers the shutter whenever it detects certain sounds. It's programmed to pick up loud noises right now. A programmable camera. Neat. So this is Lotta's camera, set to automatically take a picture when a loud noise is detected. Faces the lake. Lotta? Yeah? So your camera, it triggers on loud explosion noises. Yep. Actually, the victim in the case we're researching, he was shot with a pistol. Pistol? Right. Now, wouldn't a gunshot make a similar noise to our party popper? I guess it would. Your camera didn't get a picture of the murderer, did it? Hey, y'all are pretty bright. Huh? I see what y'all are saying. Tell you what, I'll have a look-see at my film. It would have been a photo taken last night. I checked them once, don't remember if there were anything like that on them though. But if what I got is something, I could be a witness to your genuine murder. Yeehaw! I'll go check on that film. Y'all come back now, you hear? Poof. She went inside her SUV. I guess we should come back later? Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to look at. So we have to go back to the beach, because that's like the midpoint. Now we can go to the boat rental shop. They should have some evidence or history as to who rented a boat that day, yeah? Nick, what is this place? A boat rental shop. Closed for Christmas, it seems. I guess a murder taking place on one of those boats won't be good for business either. Boats. I've never ridden on a boat. Really? Then how about we go out on one when the trial is finished? That's nice. Let's see, she got a working darkroom in the SUV. That's kind of cool. That's like practically impossible. How much tape or whatever you'd have to put on all the windows and then take it all off when you want to drive again. Because you need like total darkness. Hey, good idea. You bet. All right, let's scope this place out. There's more forest off that way. I doubt I'd find any helpful clues in there. Small boat rental shop. Doesn't look like anyone is around. They're probably closed down, or because it's Christmas. I would hope so. Sometimes it drives me crazy that Christmas isn't just like a national holiday for everybody. There's not much else to look at. There we go. There are some boats floating at the dock. One was the boats used in the murder, I wonder. See, I know I'm a drying closet for drying film rolls. Oh, do you manually develop stuff, a funny thing, like film? I've never done that before. I've used Polaroids, which have to be developed, but you don't have to worry about sunlight, really. Nick. Huh? I changed my mind. I don't really want to go for a boat ride. Oh, because I made it seem like I was going to go on that boat and she didn't want that boat? I don't know. Okay, so let's get on the move. There wasn't a whole lot to do here. No one to talk to. Let's see. Considering the chemicals involved in film development, I feel like a mobile darkroom would be a terrible idea. It turn into like a meth lab. Just boom. Okay, so we've checked the lake. We've checked the rental shop. I guess we're leaving this place. Ah, we haven't been here yet. Criminal Affairs Department. It's kind of cool looking. Let's see, I worked at a darkroom for a year or so. Oh, nice. So yeah, I do know a hint or two, but not an expert for sure. Still, that's a really cool job. So what kind of pictures were you guys taking? A funny thing. And was this for anything like a magazine or something, or what was the end goal of developing these pictures? I guess Detective Gumshoe is still in a meeting. Hey, thanks for coming down, pal. Detective Gumshoe, we just finished the meeting, for better or for worse. I get the feeling we're in for some bad news. Okay, what can we look at here? We got this dude just chilling in the middle of the room. This must be the chief of the detectives here. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Board Lake? Board sighting? I don't believe it. Shouldn't you be reading something more important? Hey, is that the police department's mascot? That's the Blue Badger. It was my idea. I made it. That's my mascot, his personal mascot. I see. How nice. Oops. I'll get him assigned mascot of the Criminal Affairs Department, and it's the last thing I do. Let's see. The fact that Lotta said she's programming meteor showers reminds me. I bought a t-shirt today. Oh, nice. That has all the planets and stars. And on it, on the top of it, says, I need space. That's pretty cool. I like that double meaning. It's like, get the hell away from me, and also, you want space. If you guys could, like, win a trip to, like, walk on the moon or do something crazy in space, would you do it? Or does that freak you out? Because I'm kind of on both fences. I would really love to do it, and at the same time, like, it feels like there's so many things that can go wrong, and if things go wrong, you're kind of hosed out there. Shadow, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. Were you playing some Spider-Man today, perhaps? And how did your stream go? Yeah, what were you playing? Let's see. Space freaks me out. It's cool, but there's so much of it. I know, I just imagine being lost in space. Actually, a lot of scenes in that game we played, Observation, that was kind of creepy. Like, you gotta imagine being alone. You know what I have to do? Shadow, thank you so much for the host and everything, and the raid. Welcome, everybody. I always really quickly, when I see that notification, start saying hello to everybody, but I forget when I raid people, there's like sometimes a good 10-20 seconds of advertising before anybody can actually see anything of the stream. So if I say my thank yous too quickly, by the time they jump in, I've already done it. But yeah, it's good to see you, Shadow. Let's see, Lurk. It's getting late, but I'll leave the computer on. See you guys in the next stream. Oh, thank you so much for hanging out, Grilled Tomato, and thank you for the lurk as well. Thank you for leaving it on. Honestly, let's see, I use ad blockers for a reason. Nice, get around that, Shadow. One thing I do when I'm going to keep a stream on but not watch it is I go to the options of the stream and I turn the quality way down low so it doesn't use much of my internet, but you're still helping somebody out, you know? Let's see, a funny thing. I would love to go to space, but with current tech, I definitely won't. And it's funny because we've had this tech for a long time. If you go to space, you'll get lost so easily. It's too true, funny thing. When we were playing Observation, I was outside of their space station trying to find someone else that was working on the outside. I spent like a good 20 minutes like floating around in space, wandering, not able to see this person. They were so good at hiding. How goes Ace Attorney? Really good. We actually just finished case number 3, Shadow, and we're starting case number 4, which is technically the last one in the game, but this game has a bonus number 5, so we still got a little ways to go, but it's really good. That last case had so many twists and turns. Okay. Good luck assigning him to your mascot. There's a poster behind him. A poster of a female police officer. Wait, no, that's the latest Babes in Uniform calendar. My bad. Why are you gonna take that to work? Come on. That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself. Alright, hands against the wall, all of you. Don't even think about escaping. I got eyes in the back of my head. He must be doing image training for arrests. Image training for arrests. That's kind of interesting. The last case had so many twists and turns. You ain't seen nothing yet. Holy crap, Blaze. I don't know if my heart can take any more of that. Every single chapter was just flipping everything upside down. Let's see, it looks like the Curane Village case. Case the name of which I forgot. Curane Village. Is that what this one is? These are the detectives' desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I'd expect. I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. So, I'm trying to think, based on when this came out, this is like around 2000? Is that right? Because all the computers here have big, fat CRT monitors. But it might not have been until the mid-aughts that they started switching over to everybody having LCD. I forget when that really happened. I know I still had a CRT monitor in 2000. So, and I was usually cutting edge, although the first LCD screens were garbage. Just garbage. Let's see, Reunion and Turnabout. Oh, is that the name of the mission? Alright, so... Oh, here he is. Do you know anything about the victim yet? No. Still can't ID him. Has Mr. Edgeworth said anything? Not a word. So, how did the meeting go? I can't tell you, pal. You're a lawyer. True. You know, I don't know what I believe in anymore. I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth's human like you or me. Still, I get the feeling that if he'd done something wrong, he wouldn't go hiding it. That's just the kind of guy he is. Why can't anyone else see that? So if they think that Mr. Edgeworth did it, well, then the trial's starting tomorrow as scheduled. Let's see. Let's see, I went with one open world, no direction game to another. I think I have my type of game. So, how are you liking Spider-Man so far? Let's see, 2001 is when the game first came out, but it takes place in 2016. Oh, so the 2001 version was like trying to make it futuristic by 15 years? That's kind of interesting. I wonder why. Hey, in the end, you did tell us something about the meeting. Don't go telling anyone this, pal. Yes, sir. And do me a favor. Stand by Mr. Edgeworth. He needs help, and you're the ones to help him. I'm sure he's got some reason he won't talk to us. So he won't just not talk to us, he also won't talk to the detective. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe, how come you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? That's a good question. Let's see, Shadow. It plays more like Arkham and Assassin's Creed, but the combat is still giving me problems. Yeah, I definitely felt more like Arkham than anything else. You say you're having problems. I'm trying to think of what I used, like strategy-wise. I think there was like a shield or something that you could do with the special button, and I think I used that spider shield thing all the time when I unlocked it. Well, I think that was obvious. We got a strong working relationship, us two. We didn't trust each other. We trust each other, and that's how it works. A working relationship? See, Mr. Edgeworth always gets his defendants declared guilty every time, except when he's going up against me. Yeah, his methods might be a little extreme at times, but there's a reason. He trusts our investigation, see? He trusts us to get the right man. That's why I work extra hard, pal. We've got to earn that in places in the U.S. I see. Mr. Edgeworth is a man you can trust. And you have my word on that. I think his word is pretty legit. He's been a cool guy throughout the whole game, honestly. I was wondering, did you ever get that autopsy report? Oh, that? Yeah, I made a copy for you. Okay, so time of death, sometime on the 24th or 25th. That's a pretty big gap. Cause, one bullet shot to the heart. So it lines up with what we saw in the trailer. Let's see, I'm slowly getting used to the O for dodge some fights, but I am good and others just have horrible timing. Yeah, dodging is super important in that game. And a lot of times, I remember dodging basically just to run away and regroup myself. Thank you. Nick. Huh? Can you show me that photo of the victim? That face. That's not Edgeworth. Edgeworth has like light hair. Someone you know? I don't know. I just have this feeling that I met him somewhere a long time ago. How would that work? Alright, what can we show him? Our badge. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. How about the camera? Nope. Well, I hope it helps, pal. Thanks, detective. Oh, this is the case he got me. That's right. Why would I present that to him? Except... let's see. These are the detective's desks. There are computers and files on each one. Funny. Oh, I already read that. What was I doing here? Did I finish? Oh, I was trying to show him something. Oh, I already showed him everything. We're good. You seem tired. Everyone sounds like Detective Gumshoe. I'm missing it, yeah. It is getting pretty close. I usually quit around 10, but I'm not sure how far we are from a save point. Do you know what happens in this game if you, everyone's gonna be Gumshoe at the end? When you get to like a save point in this game, or if you don't get to a save point, does it put you all the way back to the beginning, or does it kind of leave you anywhere? Because if I go here... Oh, I can save anywhere. Nice. Okay, let's get to the next area, and we'll wrap this up. Okay, move. Yeah, so this is the next thing we have to do is talk to him. The tricky part is remembering how... I only now realize I could save anytime. Yes. Is that bad? That's kind of bad. I only ever saved when the game forced me to. Another fail-cadia, John failure. Better late than never. At the very end of the game. Alright. So let's wrap up this portion and then we'll save it. Edgeworth. This is really hard for me to ask, but you didn't do it, right? Right? Think what you will. I have only one request. Huh? Stay out of this case. Why? But Nick is trying to help you. I know that. But I don't want your help, okay? Maybe it's dangerous. Why not? Look, just go away and leave me alone. Nick, Mr. Edgeworth did it, didn't he? Maya, let's go investigate elsewhere. But Nick... Oh, he's gone. We investigate here. It's probably the same stuff. This guard monitors the visitor's room. He hasn't moved an inch since I came in. Real pro. Yeah, we've heard that before. Alright, I'm gonna go here and save here. I'm hoping this is a good spot. I just have to remember... Edgeworth doesn't want our help, which is really interesting and kind of makes him seem guilty. And we are just grasping at straws because there's that one witness. Alright, let's go ahead and save it. Finally, episode 4, day 1. That's so nice that I can save it anytime. That's so embarrassing that I didn't know that. Alright, title screen, yes. Sweet. It's funny, yeah, I'm feeling real tired, but I thought I got great sleep. Maybe I just had a busy day at work or something. Hard to say. And this nice, sleepy music doesn't help, right? It's okay, John. We still love you all. Thank you, Ken. I don't know. If we do another, like, big 12-hour stream, you might have a John just totally like, huh? Oh, what? Just nodding off. I do that a lot during movies. It drives me crazy. Like, if I try to start a movie at, like, around 9, 10 o'clock, sometimes I have a hard time finishing it because That's usually my bedtime on the weekdays, so my body's used to like, okay, it's quiet, it's dark, you're not moving very much, you must be trying to go to sleep. So my body just tries to shut down. Sometimes what I do is like, I'll fidget, like if I move around or play with something, that helps keep me awake. Or caffeine. Lots and lots of caffeine. Ah, the sweet nectar of the gods. But then there's the other problem of, gosh, what if you can't go to sleep after that? Let's see, you always make us fall asleep. It's time to put yourself to sleep. How bad would that be, a funny thing, if my voice put myself to sleep? That would suck. I have put plenty of people to sleep, though. I'm hoping it's more of a soothing thing and not a boring thing. Could be a little bit of both. I don't know. So what game should we be doing next, guys? I'm thinking of Plague Tale, because this is kind of like a slower paced puzzle game. I think we'll do Plague Tale and then jump into that, what was it called? The Blackwell Legacy, which is like a point-and-click adventure game from the guys that did Unavowed. So I really want to do that. And then we can jump back into maybe episode or game 2 of Phoenix Wright. Let's see. Definitely soothing, never boring. Okay, thank you. Tashi, I want Blackwell. Luckily, both Blackwell, I mean, there's 5 Blackwell games. I think they're all fairly short. And then I believe Plague Tale isn't too long. But I've already said that, yes. Let's see, in high school, one of my teachers who taught morning class liked to make us watch videos, and I was always falling asleep because it was warm and dark and very early in the morning. See, it's the environment relentless. I feel that. That's one thing I like about movie theaters is usually they make it very cold. So sometimes the cold helps keep you awake. That's 2 for Blackwell. Maybe we'll do Blackwell next. Maybe we can jumble it around and do like a Blackwell game, and then depending on how long the Blackwell games are. Maybe we'll just marathon them all if they're real short, but if they're not, we'll jump around and do like Blackwell Episode 1, Plague Tale, maybe Blackwell Episode 2, come back to Phoenix Wright, mix it up. But yeah, it's tough staying awake in certain situations for sure. Meetings at work are the worst. I hate trying to like stay awake. When I'm not talking, I'm just like listening for like half an hour at a time, no interaction. That's the worst. So are adventure games kind of your thing on your stream? Adventure games are pretty prominent here. We mix it up a bit. We've done some action games like Dead Cells. We do sometimes community games like Jackbox and things. But I would say in general, the focus of the stream, Blaze, is like games with that good story. Something that very heavy story emphasis, and a lot of times that's going to be adventure games. But there's some other games that I'm really excited about doing, like Last of Us Part 2 when that comes out. Let's see. Oh, what is that? Cyberpunk 2077. I'm super excited about that. Oh, Lynn's is streaming right now? Oh, we have to raid Lynn's. Absolutely. I didn't know she was streaming this late. That's awesome. Usually I get notifications that she's streaming like early on in the day. So yeah, basically anything with a good story, Blaze. Which, I mean, adventure games pretty much focus on story, so those are easy to do. Another thing I like about adventure games is it's easier to stream because of the pace. I get to like take breaks and talk with you guys. Sometimes if I'm playing like a very action-focused game and I want to talk to you guys, I have to like pause the game so I can like catch up with chat and hang out with you guys for a little bit, and then I go back into it. I hate to do that. Alright, let me bring up Twitch real quick. And thanks for another fun stream. Glad I was able to catch this one. Oh, me too, Blaze. Yeah, it's a bummer you missed the last one, but I was glad you were able to make it in for this one. Now, the next scheduled stream, and I'm probably not going to be able to do a bonus one Wednesday because I got a lot of cleaning to do this week. My brother, my older brother's actually going to be hanging out with me next week. Tuesday and Wednesday, he's staying with us, so I might have to cancel the Tuesday stream. I'll let you guys know. But the next stream is going to be this Thursday in 2 days, and for that one, it's my off Friday. So expect a late stream. Expect John with lots of caffeine, so I don't get tired on stream. And we'll plow through a lot of this game. We'll see. We might even mix it up and maybe do 2 games. We'll see. All right. So do I see Lynn's on there? There she is. Uncharted 4, such a good game. That's XOS0R4, right? Oh, actually, let me go in there just to make sure she's actually playing and not ending the stream. always forget to do that. Gotta make sure they're really playing the game. Yeah, she is. And I get an advertisement. I'm just gonna copy her name so I can't possibly misspell that. How bad would that be if I misspelled her name and we rated the wrong channel? This channel is intended for mature audiences. I feel like I'm the only one that doesn't have a mature audience stream. Sometimes we play games that are kind of on the mature side, but I myself, if I want to swing or swear like some, you know, dirty, I'll do that just to keep it clean, you know? Alright guys, well thank you again so much for hanging out. We made progress, we finished case 3, which I was super happy about. Not that I wanted it over, but I just really wanted to see like what was going to happen. I thought like there can't be another twist, there has to be the end, and it had a really cool ending, I like that. And it made sense, it didn't feel like it came out of nowhere, you know? So, I don't know, I'm really digging these games, these are pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to more of this. I will see you guys Thursday. Good time zone, everybody, and prepare for a longer stream. Alright, guys, let's raid Linz and say hi. Show her some love if you haven't followed her already. She's a big part of this community. Well, take care, and I'll see you next time.